Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Good evening. Traffic has finally flipped to the north side of 44th Street as Phase 1 of the rehabilitation project has wrapped up. As Jace Mackey reports, the city is still confident the project will be completed on time, even though Phase 1 faced delays.
Crews painted the last lines on the freshly paved north side of 44th Street, allowing traffic to transition to the north side on Tuesday morning. This transition is taking place weeks after originally planned, since delays occurred during Phase 1 work. Even with the delays, the city still says the project should be done by Halloween.
The work has commenced on the south side, as you can see already. So we're working diligently with the contractor, and he's engaged several subcontractors to assist to keep this project moving forward as best as we can.
There is less water and sewer work being done on the south side, and that's one of the main reasons the project is still expected to be completed on time.
You won't see a major hole that you saw on the north side. There will be some alignment of catch basins, I understand. What a catch basin is, the drainage point where the water runs down the side of the street or the road, and that will be dug up, but they'll be adjusted accordingly, and that's the only major water work piping that needs to be done. That'll be going on simultaneously as the other road work is going on.
Multiple crews will be working at different times to get Phase 2 work done.
Of course, there will be concrete intersection on the south side as well as northbound from College Drive as you approach the intersection of 44th, which is already excavated out and is getting underway for preparations for concrete.
Mayor Gerald Albers is encouraging residents to follow all posted signs and detours and to consider taking alternate routes and, of course, remain patient.
Certainly we realize there's businesses very strongly on the south side, and we just ask again for patience, courtesy. Watch for people. You will not be able to make that left-hand turn that people occasionally made from the north side. It's going to be very difficult, and it could be hazardous, if not for both the driver and the worker.
With summer coming to an end, winter is just around the corner in Lloydminster, and the city wants the project completed sooner rather than later.
We're very hopeful. I think we'll proceed very at a great pace, and certainly the contractor is aware of the conditions. They do this each and every summer, spring, summer, and fall, and know that what's coming sooner or later is going to shut down the project. So our intention is to get the project done before the completion date.
For Primetime Local News, I'm Jace Mackey.
In the first Beyond the Classroom of the 2021-22 school year, we take a look at the new video production lab currently under construction at Holy Rosary High School.
The assignments are going to go to next level, the learning's way more hands-on, way more industry standards, so it's pretty cool.
The expansion and renovations first broke ground back at the end of June. Now one aspect of the renovations, the video production lab, is going to be finished ahead of schedule as they are halfway through construction.
It was a late July decision to get started on this, so we did a little bit of reconfiguring in our timetable and locations of some classes in order to make this happen. But once we get into October, we can move some programs into this new area and then get our regular space back in PAA for some other programs.
With the main portion of the construction done and a lot of finishing touches being put in place, media teacher Sky Ferguson says being able to work in a space she designed is something she's always wanted to do.
When I was a kid and I wanted to be a teacher, I always dreamed of what my classroom would possibly look like, and now I'm helping actually design my classroom. It's super amazing to customize it, especially because I've been teaching at Holy for 4 years now. I kind of know what I want and what would make a classroom better, so it's really awesome to have a division that supports a vision and listens to everything that I'm saying.
The studio will have a lot of newer technology, and that will help to teach the students industry standards, which gives them more flexibility after high school.
With the new space and the new tech brings new opportunities, so we can advance our programs. You know, our teacher, Miss Ferguson, has great ideas, and in this new space now she'll be able to take her programs to another level, and the kids that are interested in those programs will take full advantage of that.
The construction is expected to be completed by October, and Ferguson says she wasn't the only one who got the chance to customize the studio, as the students have been providing input throughout the process.
From right at the beginning, I've actually brought this idea to the kids and asked them to help me design the classroom. I had a kid work with me completely rendering it, even just kids' ideas from the seating to the studios. They had a part in it, and now that it's happening earlier than expected, they actually get to see their vision come to life.
And that's it for this week's Beyond the Classroom.
At Lakeland College, our students are challenged to go beyond the classroom, so when industry knocks, they're ready to thrive. Learn more at lakelandcollege.ca.
Lloydminster's Youth Council is shining light on mental health awareness this week in honor of this year's World Suicide Prevention Day. Our Tate Lakecraft has more.
Sitting down with me via Zoom from Lloydminster's Youth Council is Riley Grace and Olivia Brockhoff, and they're here to discuss an upcoming event that will honor World Suicide Prevention Day. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you for having us.
So the event that you guys have organized is set to take place on the evening of this Friday, September 10th. Riley, could you just give people a little bit of a rundown on what you guys have planned?
Yeah, of course. So obviously everyone is welcome. It's open to absolutely everybody. So it's gonna run from 8 to 10 p.m. We're gonna have a couple guest speakers as well as an open mic around 8:15 is when we're planning to start that. And then there'll be the candle lighting and we're just gonna create that environment to be open. There's gonna be an open mic as well if anyone feels that they would like to say anything, share anything like that. And that's gonna basically be our night.
And an important thing to take away from a night like this is that it's also a learning opportunity. Could you just maybe speak to the idea of reducing stigma and increasing awareness through this event?
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely been hard throughout COVID for people to find resources and talk to people. And people have started struggling with depression and anxiety. And people don't necessarily think it's okay to talk about that. And we want everybody to know everybody at some point in their life goes through it. And it's better to talk to people. And people would love to talk to you about it and help you out.
And though there is going to be an open mic, you guys do have some guest speakers planned as well.
Yes, the mayor is going to speak, and Riley and I will be making speeches. And then anybody who wants to come up and share their experience or just say a few words about somebody they know who's going through something, they are totally welcome to do that.
Another element to this for people who might not be able to attend is that they'll be able to participate virtually with a hashtag that you guys have.
We are, yes. So we have two actually. So it's hashtag be the light and then hashtag hope through action. So obviously if you can attend because of other reasons, for sure, we just ask that, light a candle in your own home, post it with the hashtag, and we'll be able to see it and share it as well so that everyone knows like we're even connected, even if you're not there that night. It's not just about that night, obviously, it's about every day. So anytime really.
Then I also just wanted to take the time to ask what an event like this might mean to the both of you on a personal level, whether you've had experiences or impacts with depression or suicide in your life. Could you just tell me what it means to the both of you personally?
Do you want to? Yeah. I was like, I can answer first or you can answer first.
Go ahead, I'll go after.
Okay, well, personally, my family has really struggled with mental health and depression and anxiety. And I know often I struggle with depression and anxiety. So it's nice to get out on Friday and hopefully see more people our age who come forward and it's like, yeah, especially because of COVID, I've been going through this and I've just needed an outlet, or I'm happy you guys are putting this on because it makes me feel safe and makes me feel like I can talk to people about this.
And then kind of the same for me as well. I've definitely had personal friends, family, even myself at times, mental health really does take its toll sometimes. And I believe that Friday is going to be super important just to get out there and realize that, you're not alone. No matter what, you're not alone. There's always somebody there who is willing to listen. They want to listen. They want to help you through it. They want to give you all the resources that they can, help you as much as they can. So I believe that Friday is really important to kind of get that sense out there that, there is help out there. There's ways to make it better. You're not in this alone. You don't have to go through it alone. And I think that that's the message that Friday is really trying to send, right? That awareness, that attention to it.
Thanks so much for doing this.
No, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
A fundraising event is planned at Boston Pizza in Lloydminster tomorrow to help support the Great Cycle Challenge. Stacey Comer has the details on what is planned.
I'm joined today on Primetime Local News by Marina Stevenson, the owner of Boston Pizza in Lloydminster. Marina, you have an exciting event happening tomorrow at Boston Pizza here. Can you tell me what's planned?
Absolutely. We're so excited to be really celebrating Jared Russell and all of his accomplishments and in his riding his bike like he's done for the last 6 years. And he also did work for me for over 10 years. And so really it's about celebrating what it is that he's done.
So tell me what's on the agenda, Marina? It sounds like it's an event for the whole family.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to have Jared down at Boston Pizza, of course, with his amazing bike that has been transformed to work for him. And we're going to have some pizza samplings. We're going to have balloon animals. We're going to have prizes given out every hour and then a big one at the end. You just come on down and enter to win. Plus, we'll be donating a big check for Jared at 8 o'clock will be our final donation time for him.
Marina, why is it so important for companies like Boston Pizza and others to support not only people and causes like Jared is doing, but just generally in the community? Why do you feel like it's important to give back?
Well, number one, Jared Russell has always been an inspiration to everybody in this community, really. Whatever obstacles are in front of him, he doesn't take them as obstacles. He merely makes adjustments, and he's always got a huge smile on his face. And so, really, if he's almost at 1,200 kilometers riding his bike, if that doesn't say it all, that's a huge inspiration to all of us. He's brought huge awareness to the Sick Kids Foundation, as well as a young boy, Braxton, from Greystone, Alabama, which I also think is great. It's bringing the world together as one. And Jared is such a caring, amazing young man that really it's about celebrating him.
So when people show up tomorrow, Marina, is there a specific time that is better for them to come to get involved? Or do you kind of just, if they can come at 4 or if they can come at 8, doesn't really matter?
Well, what we're going to have is balloon animals at between 4 and 7. The donations and Jared being there will also be around the 4 to 7 mark is when Jared will be there. But you can order pizzas all day long, all our medium and large pizzas. Proceeds from that will be going towards Jared's cause as well.
And when people make those orders, Marina, does it have to be through the restaurant to go through the cause, or can it be through Skip the Dishes or any other place as well?
No, that's the one part we have. It does have to be directly with us at Boston Pizza. You can use our online channel, which is just thebostonpizza.com to order, and that will also be tallying up the proceeds from that, just not through Skip the Dishes or Dash, just for tomorrow.
And does it matter the type of pizza, or does it just have to be the certain size?
Just the medium and large, and as well, we will be including our number one gluten-free crust as well, which just comes in one size.
And you mentioned, Marina, there was going to be some pizza sampling too, so that sounds like something that people can come out and enjoy with the family too. That
absolutely
will be all outside.
Absolutely, we'll have a tent just outside our front door where you can stop by and have a little sampling. We'll also have some waters and some iced tea out there, and really we'll have an assortment and an array of some of our more adventurous type pizzas. A little bit something new to try.
Well, Marina, I really appreciate you speaking with us today. This sounds like it's going to be just a great event for the whole family really to take in. So once again, let's just go over the details, when it's going to be and the time and when everything will wrap up.
Fantastic. Well, really tomorrow is our entire day, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. is about celebrating Jared Russell. He will be with us in attendance from 4 till 7 tomorrow night. And then at 8 o'clock again, we'll have a check presentation for Jared, but really come out anytime and support him. Best of all would be to come and meet him and join in our celebration of all of his accomplishments.
And of course, order your pizza from Boston Pizza all day tomorrow.
Absolutely. Online or call us 780-875-8700.
Thank you so much, Marina, for speaking with us today. Really appreciate it. And we look forward to seeing you tomorrow night.
Thank you so much for having me, Stacey.
Now Shelby Clark will take a first look at your Wednesday weather. Thanks so much, Jasmine. Now taking a first look at your weather forecast here. We are sitting at 25 degrees here in the border city with a mix of some sun and cloud. So we are seeing very nice weather today, and we will be seeing even warmer tomorrow, as you'll see here later in my forecast. But hopefully everybody is getting outside and enjoying the weather while they can. Now taking a look at temperatures across the region on the Alberta side here. A lot of 25 degrees there. Edmonton, St. Paul are at 24 degrees as well as in Marwayne. Lac La Biche and Cold Lake are at 23 degrees, and Vegreville is at 26. Now over on this end here, Isle Cross a bit cooler at 22 degrees. Green Lake is seeing 25, while Pearson is at 24, and Meadow Lake is at 23, and St. Walburg is seeing 22 degrees, and Maidstone and North Battleford are at 24 degrees, while Macklin is at 26. But speaking of North Battleford, now overnight, they will be seeing warmer temperatures tonight and tomorrow night. Tonight they'll be seeing a low of 12 degrees with a lot more cloudier skies, but tomorrow they will be warming up there to a high of 28 with a mix of some sun and cloud. Cold Lake overnight, they'll be seeing
seeing a warmer temperature there as well, with a low of 14 degrees with a lot more cloudier skies. But tomorrow they'll be following suit with a high of 26 and a mix of some sun and cloud as well. But now taking a look at the school day forecast for all the kids out there, they'll be starting off a bit warmer at 8 a.m. heading there to school with a high of 13 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. But as you can see throughout the day at recess, they'll be going up to a high of 19. And then by the time they're at lunch and school is out, it'll be warming up the most there to a high of 27 by the time they are out for the school day. So hopefully all the kids out there will go out and grab some slushies since it'll be so warm. And now taking a look at the 3-day forecast for here in the border city on Thursday, we will be seeing a high of 28 here for the border city with a mix of some sun and cloud and a low of 12. And Friday will be cooling down just a bit there with a high of 19 on Friday, but we'll be seeing a lot more sun on Friday to start off this weekend with a low of 12 degrees. And Saturday we'll be seeing a nice temperature there with a high of 20 with a mix of some sun and cloud, but we probably won't be seeing as much sun on Saturday, a lot more cloud coverage, but we will be seeing a low of 5 degrees. That's the first look at your weather forecast. We'll have more news coming up after the break.
Welcome back. Farmers markets have seen a rise in support since the start of the pandemic. Jillian Code has more.
Today on Primetime Local News, I'm joined by Eileen Kotovich. She's a farmers market specialist with the government of Alberta. Now, Eileen, I've had the pleasure of being able to talk with some local farmers in the area who frequent farmers markets and sell their products there. They've basically all said that they've seen an increase in customers since the start of the pandemic, and that's continuing for them. Is this something that farmers all across the province are seeing?
Yes, absolutely. So when COVID hit, and the restrictions started to come into play in early 2020, the markets were allowed to be open, which was fantastic. They were restricted in that it was only essential businesses. So our food vendors, our processed food and our primary agriculture people, and they absolutely saw more people coming who came and shopping with purpose. They wanted to support our local producers and processors. They wanted to get local food. There were some of those supply chain worries at that time where grocery stores, depending where you were, some things weren't there. So going to the farmers market, they knew that when they got there, the food that they wanted was going to be there. So it was very positive for a lot of our producers and processors, for sure. It was good. And it seems to have continued that trend that people want to support their local producers.
I was just about to ask that because I know when the pandemic started, a lot of people saw a shift in what they prioritized. A lot of people started prioritizing local products. I know I did a little bit. Are we still seeing that continued support even after most restrictions are lifted?
Yes, absolutely. And a lot of the producers I've talked to say, and it's not just during the term of the farmers market, because a lot of them are still seasonal. They've made these connections with those vendors and they're continuing to buy, say their meat or their eggs or their processed stuff after the season is over. So it's becoming a long-term purchasing relationship, it's so positive and so good to see because we've got a lot of great product out there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And so when there's like a lot of focus on local products, I think that, that's a little bit synonymous with other terms like sustainable, things like that. Do you find that most farms who attend farmers markets are really aligned with that, I don't want to say niche, but maybe that certain demographic?
Absolutely. And, the thing that's really cool about markets is you get to talk to that producer. So some of them will be pesticide free, some of them will be certified organic, and others will absolutely talk to you about how they raise their animals, how they do, what kind of inputs they use on their crops. So then you can make that informed decision. What they're selling you. And the reality is they're feeding their families these foods too. It's not like they're hiding anything or doing anything bad. They are feeding their own families and they're feeding you, and they want to talk to you about what they do. And they're always willing to share that story with you. So that's such a positive thing to be a part of.
And there's a farmers market app. What can you tell me about this?
We have 151 Alberta approved farmers markets. So the provincial government has a farmers market program that I manage and administer for them. And in 2016, we released this app. So it shows all of the approved markets in the province, when they operate, where they operate. If they've got a website, it's listed. If they've got a Facebook page, it's listed. And it shows When the market's open, the pins turn green, so you know that day that market is open. It'll give you directions. It'll pop you back into Google Maps to give you directions from your location. So it is a really good way for people to find the markets. I know a lot of people have talked about using it as they plan their route, like, oh, what market's going to happen this day, and we're traveling here, and they kind of follow it around the province, it's really good, and it's a really easy way to find those markets and to connect with those vendors. It's a good little tool.
Yeah, like you can almost say that's like farmers market tourism, just like plan a trip, take the weekend, go to all these little farmers markets across the province. That sounds really, really fun. And I'm guessing, with each area in Alberta, there's going to be such a wide variety of different farms that people can go to and get products from.
Oh, for sure. You sure do. And the products will be a little bit different depending where you are in the province and when things are ready and what people are raising and growing. So yeah, farmers markets really are a piece of the ag tourism world, which is exciting too. You could do a lot of stuff out in our rural roots and connect with these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Eileen, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me.
You're welcome. Take care.
Junior A hockey is back in the border city. The Bonnyville Pontiacs came into town to finish the back half of a home-at-home. The two teams kicked off the regular season September 17th against one another. Evan Kenny explains if this game was a preview of what's to come, fans are in for a treat.
The Lloydminster Bobcats returned to the Civic Center for their fourth preseason game. The Cats were 1-2 heading into the game, having dropped the previous to the Bonnyville Pontiacs. The first period set the tone for the game. Rough would be an understatement, as fans saw big hit after big hit after big hit.
No matter what, any game in the Alberta Junior Hockey League North Division, this is pretty similar to what we can face every night. So it's a good test, and it's a good lesson for our guys to know what to expect moving forward.
2-0 was the score in the second when the extracurricular activities began. 108 penalty minutes were dished out in the second alone.
The first 16 minutes was we pushed there and we dominated. We just can't let the stuff get in between us, like the reffing and all the stuff in between the whistles, and we just got to find a way to put the puck in the net.
The Pontiacs would walk away with the victory and a final score of 4-1. Bodie Weiss made 27 saves in his first start of the preseason.
Certainly, if this is any indication of what we think that we can expect, he's a guy that's not only going to be good short-term, but long-term he could be our future guy.
The Pontiacs' goals came off of 4 different sticks: Ethan Sundar, Charlie Russell, Noah Heinrich, and Adam Grenier, while Ethan Acoyne got the lone Bobcats goal. The Pontiacs will host the Drayton Valley Thunder on Wednesday, while the Bobcats will play in Camrose Friday. Evan Kenny, Primetime Local Sports.
Now Shelby Clark will take another look at your weather forecast.
Much, Jasmine. Now taking a second look at your weather forecast here, we'll be starting off with taking a look at temperatures across central Alberta and Saskatchewan here. On the Alberta side, Athabasca is at 23 degrees, while the rest are a little bit cooler. They're at 18 degrees in Whitecourt and Red Deer. Edson is at 16 degrees, while Jasper and Rocky Mountain House are seeing that 15-degree mark there, but Edmonton's a bit warmer. They're at 24 degrees. Now over on this side here, Meadow Lake and Prince Albert are at 23 degrees. Melfort is seeing 22 degrees, and North Battleford and Saskatoon are at 24 degrees. And now taking a look at our northern region of the provinces here, Uranium City and Stony Rapids are at 16 and 17 degrees. Wollaston Lake's a bit cooler. They're at 14. South End and Flin Flon are seeing 20 degrees. And La Ronge and Buffalo Narrows and La Loche are at that 21 and 22 degree mark. Now over on this side, Grand Prairie's a bit cooler there as well at 14 degrees. High Level is seeing 16, while Peace River is at 21 degrees, and Fort McMurray is at 23, while Fort Chipewyan is a bit cooler. They're at 18 degrees. But now taking a look at our southern region here of the provinces, a little bit warmer in the southern region, as you can see here, while Lethbridge is at 28 degrees and Medicine Hat is actually at that 30-degree mark. Banff is still a bit cooler at 21, and Calgary is still at 19 there, but Coronation is very warm at 27 degrees. And now over on this end here, Yorkton and Regina are at 22 degrees. Moose Jaw and Esteban are seeing 24 degrees, and Swift Current and Kindersley are at 25 degrees. But now taking a look back across the region at temperatures overnight, most places have warmed up a bit with their temperatures overnight there. Meadow Lake will be seeing a low of 11 overnight, and Isla Cross will be seeing a bit warmer there with a low of 13, as well as in Paradise Hill and Bonnyville. Pearson will be seeing the warmest there with a low of 15 degrees, but Isla Cross and Pearson will be seeing a high chance of some showers overnight. Wainwright, Murnum, and Provost will be seeing a low of 9 degrees, so a little bit cooler in those places, but they will be seeing more clear skies and less cloud coverage. And now taking a look at temperatures tomorrow across the region. Most across the region will be warming up a couple degrees tomorrow. They're ranging from around 27 to 28 degrees. But up in Lac La Biche and Isla Cross will be a little bit cooler. They're at 22 and 23 tomorrow. And now taking a look at our 7-day forecast for here in the border city. Thursday, as I was saying, we will be seeing our warmest day with a high of 28 on Thursday with a mix of some sun and cloud. We will be cooling down just a bit there starting off the weekend on Friday with a high of 19, but we will be seeing some more sun on Friday starting off the weekend. Saturday and Sunday we'll be seeing a high of 20 and a high of 21 on Saturday and Sunday with a lot more cloud coverage, but we will be seeing a high chance, around a 65% chance of precipitation there on Sunday to end off the weekend. And as we go into next week, we'll be seeing a high of 20 on Monday with a mix of some sun and cloud, a high of 21 on Tuesday with a lot more cloud coverage, and cooling down just a bit there on Wednesday with high of 18. That is a second look at your weather forecast. We'll have more news coming up after the break.
Stephanie Dobson is back with us this week. Stephanie is a lawyer and mediator at Hanka Divorce Law and Mediation in Lloydminster. And Stephanie, today we're going to be talking about divorce wellness. So can you explain what this is?
Sure. Divorce wellness is the conscious focus on your health and well-being during a separation or divorce. Sometimes people don't realize the impact that a separation or divorce can have on themselves until they really sit down and think about it. There can be unhealthy habits that emerge or reemerge, things like drinking to the excess, smoking, drug use, even not sleeping well. There's all sorts of things that can happen, and it's really critical during such a stressful time in your life that you do focus on your self-care. The more healthy that you are on the inside, the better you'll be able to parent or co-parent, be productive at work, think logically, be a good social citizen, and even have healthy relationships with your friends and family.
If somebody wants to focus on divorce wellness, what are some of the things that they can do to help get them through that stressful time?
Sure. Well, the first thing I recommend is to do a self-assessment. So you can write down answers to things like the following. What kind of things are causing you stress? How much do you sleep at night? Do you get enough sleep, do you think, or would you prefer getting more sleep? Who is in your support system? Do you consider those people who surround you as toxic or supportive people? In my e-learning community, I have a module called the Spectator Gallery, and it specifically talks about filling your world with supportive people and getting the toxic people out of your world. Also, how is your nutrition? Is it balanced? Is it healthy? Or do you have any bad habits that you'd like to get rid of? And lastly, what's your exercise regime? So once you've done that self-assessment, then you might want to identify things that you'd like to improve upon. What reduces your stress? What improvements would you like to make to your daily routine, or what would you want to cut out? What kind of things make you feel healthy, and what does healthy look like for you? And lastly, could you use someone to talk with? It's really important to have that support system in place for yourself with supportive people. And that could be a counselor, or that could be a neighbor, a friend, a family member who could really help to talk through some of the emotions that you're feeling.
Why is divorce wellness such an important thing?
Well, divorce is arguably one of the most stressful times in a person's life. And with stress comes a heightened awareness of counterbalancing that stress with a focus on wellness. So the stress of a divorce can really get away from you really quickly. You're trying to juggle maybe having to be on with the kids more than you used to be in the past, organizing or reorganizing your life. You might be moving residences. You might be looking to increase your work hours, manage your friendships and family relationships. It's such a lot of things to deal with in a really short amount of time. And add on top of that, trying to get the assistance of a divorce professional to work out what your post-divorce life is going to look like. It can be so stressful that the more stress you're under, the more important it is to counterbalance that with health and wellness.
Now, Stephanie, in the past, we've talked about your online learning portal, which is Up a Notch Learning. Do you have some resources on there that can help people that are looking to figure out ways to kind of find that wellness when they're going through divorce?
Mm-hmm. You know, when we talked about Up a Notch Learning the last time, there was only a few resources on there. And since then, we've done dozens and dozens of interviews and book reviews, and we've added so much to our portal. So I encourage people to check that out. That's free at upanotchlearning.com, free to join. So there's some paid resources, paid courses, and there's some free resources. So under the free resources with respect to wellness, there's things under our interview series. There's an interview with a personal trainer and habit transformation coach, an interview with a life coach and personal image consultant, and even a healing coach. In our paid courses, I mentioned a moment ago about the spectator gallery, surrounding yourself with supportive people, but there's also a course specifically called Divorce Wellness. So those paid courses are $15 per module.
All right, Stephanie. Well, lots of good resources there, not only for this subject, but for many other subjects we've spoken about in regards to divorce and separation. So thank you again for speaking with us this week, and we will be back to talk again next week.
Perfect. See you then.
I'm speaking with Ryan LeBlanc with the Lloydminster Rescue Squad to talk about the Sirens and Sapphires event being an online auction this year. Thank you so much for joining us today. Now, was this an online auction last year as well?
No, we had postponed everything from last year, into 2021. Just with the restrictions, we didn't host our annual gala last year. So this year we thought we need to do something that we can still have our supporters, be able to join with us and celebrate another year. And just with the restrictions that we're still on, we felt this year was just easier to have something that was online. So with our annual gala that we have in person, I know that's one of the things people have come to know is the high quality items that we have had at our silent auction. So that's something we felt like we can continue with. We can just move that platform to online for this year and bring a lot of amazing items and allow for people to still contribute to the Lloyd Rescue Squad, and for us to make some money for our organization. So,
and for this being the first year for the auction, does the squad plan to have this annually instead of the actual in-person event?
No, we will be going back to the in-person event when we are able to do that. So we're excited to get people back into having the night out and our gala. So this is just a temporary fill until we can have everybody back together again that evening.
And with support in the past with previous Sirens and Sapphires events, how does the squad expect this year's online auction to go?
you know what, we've got some really, really cool items that have come in this year. So I think people have been wanting to do stuff like this. So it's been fun collecting these items, and a lot of the local businesses that have come on board and donated some of these items. It's going to be pretty fun to see how that goes.
And for residents who may be unaware, what's all involved in this online auction and how does it work?
So people will be able to sign in on September the 15th, and they can view the items. From there, Saturday morning at 8 a.m., the 18th, we'll open it up to the public, and it'll be open for 1 week. So people will be able to to bid on items and watch those items for a week. So it'll be just directly on our website, the items that will be up for bid. And yeah, we're looking forward to it. And I think people will have some fun with it.
And what are the proceeds and everything from the Sirens and Sapphires online auction for this year going to be helping towards the rescue squad?
So it just goes back into our operations and our training. So as everybody knows, it costs money to operate any organization, and you have your annual expenses such as your fuel and insurance, and a lot of training costs. To keep up the training on all of our members and continuous training. We are expanding out into more capabilities, more resources and tools that we're gathering. So it's just to pay for those that specialized training and to keep us on the road.
Is there anything else you want to add for people to know about just for the silent auction coming up?
Yeah, no, I think if there's still time to get involved, if people want to donate to the silent auction, they can get a hold of us. Check us out on Facebook or online on our website, and get a hold of us if you're interested in donating, or check it out and get your bids in starting on Saturday morning.
Perfect. So once again, thank you so much for joining us today, Ryan.
Thank you so much for having me.
And now taking a final look at your 7-day forecast here. On Thursday, we will be seeing our warmest day there with a high of 28 with a mix of sun and clouds. So make sure you're going out there and enjoying that nice weather while we can. Friday will be starting off this weekend with a high of 19 on Friday and going a high of 19 all the way through the weekend there. But we will be seeing a 63% chance of precipitation there on Sunday. So we will be seeing a high chance of some showers there to end off the weekend. And into next week, we will be seeing a high of 20 on Monday with a mix of sun and cloud. A high of 21 on Tuesday with a little bit less sun there, and Wednesday we'll be seeing a high of 20 as well.
Thank you for joining us on Primetime Local News, and have a good night.